Every year, over 5,000 babies are born in Clark County. Their parents sent home from the hospital with few resources. 5 years later, over 50% of these children are showing up for kindergarten without the skills they need to succeed on the first day.
Kids are supposed to be at grade level by the end of third grade. When some kids come into school with very little preparation for school, very little background in kind of pre-kindergarten types of skills, to try to move them to that distance by the end of third grade is particularly challenging.
SELF, Support for Early Learning and Families, was formed in 2001 to respond to this problem.
SELF is a community-based collaborative consisting of 23 early learning programs that help support children and families from birth through age 5. Our role within SELF and as a collaborative is to provide the resources in the community that allow children to gain those skills so that they will be ready to learn on the first day.
Amy Angelo took her son Ben to Read and Play, a literacy program developed through SELF in partnership with the Evergreen Public Schools, ESD 112, and Fort Vancouver Regional Library.
It was really good for him because he got to experience what it was like to be in school prior to actually going to school.
I got to do artwork like paint or draw pictures or write work or write letters. We also got to do music and we also got to do exercise.
So that really helped him out come kindergarten when he walked into a classroom for the first time and had to deal with a teacher and following directions and sitting in circle and everything like that.
What's doubly challenging about this is the kids that come to kindergarten less prepared usually come from challenging situations. They may live in poverty, they may have moved a whole lot, they may have certain types of learning disabilities.
Melina's stepson, Alo, is an example of what a positive difference early intervention can make. Melina sought custody of Alo because his birth mother abused him, leaving deep emotional scars. Melina took Alo to SELF Partner Learning Avenues.
It was like a kind of like a safe haven type of thing. They were really involved, and they made sure that they worked with Alo as well as working with us, and we were able to get his overwhelming emotions under control to where he wasn't breaking down every day over every little thing. When we first got him, that's kind of the way he went.
Debbie Jenner-John got a call late one night that changed her life forever. As a grandparent, she was now responsible for her 6-month-old grandson, Dean. But Dean was no ordinary child. He had some serious developmental delays, including autism. Debbie turned to SELF Partner and local Head Start provider, EOCF.
You know, my husband and I, neither one of us had ever been around a special needs child, let alone, one that had a lot of issues. He's got occupational therapy, speech therapy, he does sound therapy. I've seen this child go from somebody who is angry a lot because he doesn't understand, he can't communicate, to where he's communicating better.
If we can get a kid to grade level, keep them at grade level, then we're not going to have to spend money on support services, special education, and that kind of thing. The benefits to society of making that push in the early years to get kids up to speed pays off in a number of ways. Getting good jobs, being able to support their families, staying out of the juvenile justice system, and not dropping out of school.
Early learning has historically, because it hasn't had a system and we haven't been able to bring all of the different programs that are important together under one umbrella, we have never established a consistent, stable funding stream. So what happens is programs are very at risk at being cut. And even programs that are evidence-based that show good outcomes for kids, if there isn't funding, they go away.
I can't even imagine where my family would be if this would go away. Like, my son would probably be completely lost if he wouldn't be able to come here anymore.
All kids need to be prepared for kindergarten.
I'm at kindergarten and I'm doing really well.
The first 5 years of a child's life are critical. We can't wait until it's too late. We need to invest our greatest resources, our time, our expertise, our support, and most of all, our love, into these early years. When you change a child's life, you change the adult they'll become. By investing in SELF, support for early learning, and families. You are helping children, changing the future, and building a better Clark County.